My name is Dana Miller-Mackey, and I want to show you some proper warm-up stretches for bowling. In bowling, as in other sports, a lot of people fail to realize you need to warm up properly. So I'm going to show you some exercises that you can do in the bowler's area when you come to practice before you bowl. One of the exercises you can do is to balance yourself either on the scorer's table or on a chair and gently pull your ankle up so that you feel a good stretch in your thigh muscle. It shouldn't be a bounce or a pull. It should be just a gentle hold so that you feel some tension in your thigh muscle. Maybe hold this for 5 to 10 seconds until you feel a little bit of a burn and then release. The other one you can do is put one leg back, one leg forward, slight knee bend, and you should feel a stretch in the back part of your leg, in your calf. You push your heel down to the floor and hold it for 5 to 10 seconds. You can repeat this exercise, say 2 or 3 times before you bowl. Some of the equipment that I use to warm up with or to work out with for bowling is a dumbbell. You can use a 5 or 10 pound or 2 pound dumbbell. This is called a Dynaband, and this is a plain rubber band. Recently recovering from a forearm injury, this is an excellent one. You just put the rubber band around your fingertips and gently stretch. If you've been having tendon problems or forearm problems, this is an excellent exercise. As with back problems, you want to strengthen the opposite muscles, the stomach muscles. With your forearm, many people strengthen the flat part of your arm, but they don't work on the top muscles. So this is an excellent exercise to do. And you can do this anywhere. You can do it driving, you can do it in the bowler's area, you can do it between shots. And it was a way for me that I recovered from my injury. All right, this is called a Dynaband. It's made out of a balloon material. You can substitute anything that would be similar to this. This is a very inexpensive tool that you can pick up and have in your bowling bag. One exercise that you can do to warm up your arms properly is grab one end of it, hold it still, and just stretch your arm out. Just stretch it. And that helps warm up your triceps and biceps. And if you're right-handed, of course, it would be the opposite movement. The other movement you can do with this is to drop it behind your back, grab it with your hand, and gently pull up. If you do this, say 5 to 10 times before you bowl, your arm will be in much better condition to throw a 15 or 16 pound ball. For the more serious bowler, you might try a dumbbell. Go easy. If you're a woman and you throw a 13, 14 or higher pound ball, start with about a 5 pound weight. One of the things we do is wrist curls. You can hold the weight down and do a full curl, all the way down and roll up, all the way down and roll up. Also do it the opposite way. Hold it down and roll up. Hold it down and roll up. If you get very confident with this weight, gradually move up a pound at a time. Now, once you have your legs and your arms properly warmed up, you don't want to throw the bowling ball full out on your first shot. So you want to gradually increase your speed as you go. You want to start out nice and easy like this. Now remember, for proper warm-up, you want to start gradually, your legs, your arms, maybe 5 to 10 times nice and easy in your approach. This will give you best results in bowling, and it'll also help you to avoid injury.
Hi, my name's Jerry Edwards, and my tip deals with the stance. It's one of the most important, yet overlooked aspects of the bowling game. It's important because it sets up your entire approach. You want your stance to be comfortable, well-balanced, and an athletic-type position. You want your feet, hips, and shoulders facing your target for both strike and spare shots. Also, to help you stay relaxed and ready to go, you want your knees slightly flexed, your shoulders tilted slightly forward, and your chin level. To keep your swing repeatable, let the ball stay in line with your shoulder instead of in the middle of your body or way outside of your shoulder. For more consistent shots, start with your elbow resting along your side and a firm wrist. And also, let your non-bowling hand help support the weight of the bowling ball by being on the side, back, and bottom part of the ball. In closing, the way to a great finish is a great start.
Hi, I'm Lisa Wagner, and I'd like to give a tip to those bowlers out there that would like to gain more ball speed naturally without having to overthrow and possibly hurt themselves. Remember, you don't have to be a large person. I'm only 5'6", 135, and I can throw the ball hard. A couple of reasons that you may want more ball speed is it gives more pin action at the back end. Another thing is that the ball will go straighter, and therefore it is more controllable. Here's how you get more speed on the ball. First of all, you'll need a long, relaxed arm swing. Push the ball out well in front of you and let the weight of the ball swing it into the backswing. It's going to give you more speed at the release. And make sure you don't let these muscles get too tight. Let the weight of the ball swing the ball. If you do have to lengthen your arm swing, you'll probably need your steps lengthened a little bit too. Feel free to back up on the approach a little bit, but not enough that you feel like you have to leap to the foul line. Once you get to the foul line, the release is very important. When you release it, you want to picture the ball going onto the lane like an airplane landing. You don't want to lift the ball out over the foul line too far, nor do you want to throw it into the lane. This is very important for speed. If airplane landing, it's going to go smoothly onto the lane and get more speed. In summary, here's how to get more natural ball speed. Remember to have a long, relaxed arm swing. Extend the ball out in front of you. Let the weight of the ball drop it. And when you release it, make sure it's like an airplane landing, nice and smooth.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Daniels, and I'm going to talk to you today about the release. Not enough can be said about the release in bowling. It's one of the most important aspects of the game. And what I'm going to do is explain what makes a ball hook and how to develop the proper hand position so that you can deliver an effective ball that'll knock down pins and give you a lot of strikes. The thumb position is very important in bowling. In fact, it determines whether your ball is going to go straight, whether it's going to hook, or whether you're going to throw a backup ball. If you're a right-hander and your thumb is pointed to the right at release point, then the ball will back up and curve away from the pocket. If you have your thumb at 12 o'clock when you deliver the ball, you're going to throw a straight ball. And if your thumb is pointed left when you deliver the ball, like at 11 o'clock or so, your ball will hook and head towards the pocket, which is what we all want to achieve, is a hook ball that will carry, knock down pins, and give you lots of strikes. The reason why we want to develop a hook release is because you have a better chance of knocking down 10 pins. Because when the ball enters the pocket, it is entering at an angle so that there is less deflection. If your ball backs up or rolls straight, your ball is going to deflect more when it hits the pin, and the key pin is that 5 pin. We want that ball to curve into that 5 pin and help mix up the pins and give you a better chance of getting a strike. One of the biggest problems for women bowlers and also a lot of men bowlers is having the wrist in the proper position at release point. Once you get to your thumb at 11 o'clock, which is a hook position, the next biggest thing is that wrist being firm at release point. When your wrist is in a broken position like this, you're not in a position to lift the ball. In fact, your fingers are sitting on top of the ball, and therefore it's impossible for you to lift it. What we want to do is develop a strong wrist position so that that wrist is in a straight position and firm, so that our hand is in a position to naturally lift the ball. Our fingers are actually beneath the ball, and we can just naturally lift the ball without any effort. It's very important that the thumb remains stationary throughout the swing. We want the thumb to come straight back and straight through. We don't want the thumb to turn out into the swing or to turn in during our arm swing. And that way we can keep that thumb in a good position at release point, straight back and straight through. A quick summary of the release. We're going to maintain that thumb in a stationary position throughout that arm swing. We're going to keep that wrist firm and release that ball with the thumb at 11 o'clock. And if you do all these things, you're going to increase your average.
Hi, my name is Carol Norman. My personal tip concerns timing, specifically late timing, or what some people commonly call fast feet. First, let's define good timing. It is when the feet and the swing are working together for an optimum shot. Now let's define late timing. Late timing is when the feet are too far ahead of the swing to make an optimum shot. Now here are some common problems associated with late timing. 1. Follow-through is inside shoulder, causing pulled shots left of intended target. 2. The inability to be solid and maintain balance at foul line, causing bowler to fall off and step to the side after the shot. And in extreme cases, the bowler is completely turned sideways at foul line, resulting in loss of leverage at release. 3. Weak release caused by lack of leverage, resulting in pocket splits or flat tens. Now for some suggestions to help you improve your late timing. 1. Make sure to place ball into swing on proper step, or what is commonly called the key step. On a 4-step approach, move ball a little before or with the first step. On a 5-step approach, move ball a little before or with the second step. 2. Keep a relaxed arm swing. A muscled swing will slow up the entire approach, allowing feet to race ahead. 3. Shoulders need to stay in stationary position throughout the approach. If allowed to get too far forward, the feet have to rush in order to keep up with the upper body to maintain proper balance. 4. Footwork. Allow footwork to help you gain momentum throughout your approach. Start your steps small and increase in size as your approach reaches the finish. In summary, good timing is essential to the overall consistency of your game.
Hi, I'm Cindy Coburn-Carroll, and I'd like to talk to you about an aspect of bowling that is sometimes overlooked. That is the mental part, the mental approach to bowling. One of the big keys in the mental game is your self-confidence and positive attitude. Your self-confidence is so much based on the successes you have had, but in bowling, you don't start out successful. These are things you have to acquire. I find that a useful key that I've used in my career has been to set goals for myself. And I think this is something that any league bowler or beginner bowler would find useful. For example, you might like to set goals of limiting your amount of misses you have in your game, or trying to reach high average in your league. Any one of these can be good goals to set for yourself. As you reach these goals, you've then established a success pattern. They may seem small, but as you keep building these successes, it gives you confidence to tackle bigger and better things in your bowling career. I think it's
important too to keep in perspective what you're trying to accomplish. You practice frame by frame, and that's really how you should approach the game. An example to this is a personal experience for myself. I was in a tournament and we were bowling for a car for the first 300 game. I ultimately won the car, but I don't feel that that prize would have been mine if I had have approached the game with that ultimate prize on my mind through every shot. I had to go back to my practice and my mental game and work and tackle it one by one, frame by frame. And the end results was a perfect 300 game for myself. I'd also like to talk to you a little bit about visualization. This is a technique that a lot of athletes are using, and it, believe it or not, it is a successful tool to use. This is a positive imagery you have of yourself. You can be picturing yourself throwing strikes, having perfect timing, but all these things are important that you have a positive image of what you're trying to accomplish. I first used this tool before a tournament swing, and the very first block of that swing resulted in my highest block of the year. So this has certainly been a successful tool for myself, and I think it's something that you should try. It's something that the more you practice, the more comfortable you become using it, and I think eventually you'll see your scores rise and feel more comfortable with any of your techniques you try and any changes you make in your game. In closing, I'd just like to say, with all factors being equal, talent, lane conditions, and bowling equipment, the person with the most mental maturity and ability to cope is the one that will excel.
Hi, I'm Robin Romeo, and today we're going to talk about keeping the game simple. First, the natural delivery. Use your natural body movements. Make sure they work for you. The less complicated your approach, the more relaxed you will feel. You want to start holding the ball waist high in a comfortable position, using your free hand to distribute the weight of the ball. Second, comfort. You always want to feel comfortable and relaxed at all times. You need to decide which is more comfortable for you, the 4-step approach or the 5-step approach. Which foot feels better to start with? The 4-step approach, you push the ball out on your first step, and the 5-step approach, you push the ball out on the second step. So whichever feels better to start with, that's the one you choose. You want to make sure your grip is relaxed and you don't have to squeeze the ball to hold on to it. Third, rhythm. In order to repeat, you need to develop a rhythm, which means doing the same approach over and over. The most effective way is to count yourself. Let the rhythm of your swing be a guide for your steps. Let the swing tell your feet how fast or how slow they should go. Find a rhythm that is natural, for everybody has their own. No one can decide for you. So keep in mind natural delivery, comfort, and rhythm, and it will improve your game.
Hi, my name is Aleta Sill, and I'm here to talk to you about obtaining the proper fit of a bowling ball. The proper fit of a bowling ball is one of the most important aspects of the game. You can develop many bad habits from an improper fit. Number 1, it will cause an inconsistent release. Number 2, it can cause loss of accuracy. And number 3, you can injure your hand or wrist with an improper fit. To avoid these problems, I suggest all bowlers go to a reputable pro shop to have a professional ball driller fit them for their equipment. They will be able to help you decide what type of grip that you need. Beginners usually start with a conventional grip. As they develop more consistency, the next step is to go to a fingertip grip. More advanced bowlers who want more control and better roll use a fingertip grip. After you have been fitted for your ball, there will be times when you have to adjust your grip. In the colder months, the size of your hand will shrink and to adjust this problem, I recommend using tape. In the warmer months, your hand swells and you may need to remove the tape. I also recommend carrying an accessory bag with tape, scissors, rosin, towel, and hand patch. In summary, I suggest that you go to a reputable pro shop and have them fit you properly for your bowling ball.
Hi, I'm Nikki Janilius, and I'd like to give you some general information about bowling equipment. After you've been measured and fitted for your new ball and have decided upon the total gross weight for the bowling ball, there's some other factors that you need to consider. The first thing I'd like to talk about is the cover stock or shell of the bowling ball. There are three types that you should be familiar with: the hard rubber bowling ball, the plastic or polyester bowling ball, and the urethane bowling ball. Hard rubber bowling balls dominated pre-1970. Because they hooked very little, they worked well on the soft lacquer lane finishes. When the harder urethane lane finishes were introduced, rubber bowling balls were not as effective as they were on lacquer. About this time, plastic was introduced. Plastic balls were more porous and created more friction than the hard rubber bowling balls, and because of this, they tended to hit better. Urethane was introduced in 1981 and has dominated ever since. Because it creates so much friction, it tends to hook more and hit harder than any other bowling ball ever made. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit about bowling ball hardness. Minimum hardness requirements are 72 on a durometer. You'll find that different bowling balls will vary from 72 to maybe over 90. The softer a bowling ball is, the lower it will read on a durometer. You'll find that a softer ball creates more friction, thereby hooks more, whereas a shiny, harder ball, which reads higher on a durometer scale, will create more skid, less friction. The most popular weight block systems are the 2-piece and the 3-piece. Right here we have the 3-piece weight block. You have the shell, the weight block, and the core. Because the weight block sits up near the surface of the bowling ball, it tends to make the ball skid further and snap harder on the back than the counterpiece 2-piece weight blocks, which have thicker shells and the weight block sitting much closer to the center of the ball. The 2-piece weight block hooks earlier and creates less snap than the 3-piece weight block. The last thing I'd like to talk about is the weight systems. There are two types of weight systems: over the label and off-label drilling. Over the label weighting systems deal with finger and thumb, positive side and negative side, top and bottom weights. Finger weight only in a ball creates more skid and snap than thumb weight in a ball. Thumb weight creates earlier roll, less snap, with the tolerance being 1 ounce either way. Positive side takes the ball down the lane and gives you good back ends, as opposed to negative side weight, which causes the ball to roll earlier with a more shallow back end reaction. The tolerance for positive to negative side is also 1 ounce. Top weight makes the ball go longer down the lane and causes more imbalance, causing more snap in the back. Bottom weight, as opposed to top weight, makes the ball roll earlier and creates very little flip in the back ends. The maximum limit of either top weight or bottom weight is 3 ounces. All these factors combined create ball reaction. The best thing you could do is talk it over with your ball driller. Remember, equipment only enhances a good physical game.